Alright gang, if you viewed any of my videos, you'll see that I have several videos posted pertaining to Econoline trucks and vans. Now just a little bit of history. When I was a little kid, we'd go to South Georgia to visit my grandparents, and their neighbors, they had older kids, and when we'd go to visit the neighbor, they would take these Econoline pickup and the Econoline van and let us play with them. They were metal, and that was just some cool toys. Never had a metal one as a child. I had to pick them up later through the years at yard sales and flea markets. And yeah, like I said, if you look at my videos, you'll see I have several of them now. This is just a little collection of my diecast ones, so I just wanted to take a moment and show you my Econoline van collection. Alright, we're going to start with the two larger ones. These both were made by Jada. Now, I got the van first. There was this great flea market that when it first opened, it was a legit flea market. It was a huge building, and man, they had all kind of good stuff. Well, as the years went by, it turned into basically a Taiwan mall. So one weekend we go up there, and I'm walking around, and I'm really not finding anything of interest. But I looked over at this one booth, and this guy had a bunch of diecast toys, and he had a bunch of the vans. And he also had an empty box that was supposed to be filled with the pickups, but all the pickups had sold out, and he was down to the last box of vans. I can't recall what I paid for the van. I want to say it's like around $6, and or you know, it was $5.99 or something. I can't recall what it was, but it had the red one, a black one, and a blue one. Blue's my least favorite color, so I wasn't gonna get that, but the red one really stood out, so I grabbed it. And I asked him, did he have any more of the trucks? And the guy, he said he had some on order, and he was expecting them in later in the week. So I asked him when he got them in if he'd give me a call, left him my number. And I really didn't expect him to call me, but he called me. So I was like 45 minutes to an hour away from that flea market. So I asked him, would he just hold me one, and I'll be there Saturday morning to get it. And he held me this white one. I didn't even tell him a color, and I'm glad he didn't hold a blue one, because when I got there was just very few of the trucks and vans left. So he handed me this white one. Actually, he wrapped it in bubble wrap and had it in a bag waiting on me. So I picked it up, brought it home, and set both of them in the cabinet. Alright, so the white one, I took the tonneau cover off, and the tailgate lets down, and both doors open, and and the only doors on the van open are the driver's side and passenger side front doors. Now, I haven't seen the vans in flea markets like I did back when I got them, and I must have got them, this is an estimate, really late 90s, maybe the early 2000s. I just don't remember the year I bought them. But I see them on eBay with some crazy prices. But they are really cool if you love collecting diecast and you don't have these. Even though it's got the dub wheels, and I'm not crazy about the dub wheels, but I can live with it because they're good looking truck and van. Alright, I just stuck this little orange one in the scene. It's made by Jada, and I picked it up. Again, I don't recall the years, but I almost didn't buy it. One, it was a window van, but you know, every vehicle I've ever had that I've owned, they never really made diecast versions of it. Like 66 Ford F100. They recently made a 65, but the 66 has the better looking grill, in my opinion. The Econolines, like I said, Nylent, Amloyd, and Gay Toy Companies, they made them in the 60s through the early 70s, so they did have them. But other cars I've owned throughout my life, I've never been able to find diecast ones of them. Nobody makes them. like LTDs, unless you get like a Hot Wheels Crown Victoria police car. Alright, now here's these two Tootsie Toys. They're Econoline trucks. I believe it was made in the 60s. I cannot guarantee that. I can't recall what I paid for them. I bought them at different times, years apart. And I want to say maybe at flea markets. The one on the right has got, the bed is painted silver, and I think that one may have been part of a set, because I have seen online unopened sets where they had the Econoline truck with a U-Haul trailer, and I think it had like cardboard boxes that said U-Haul, or just cardboard boxes that was in the trailer, or a horse trailer with a horse or a cow. But they look pretty good. I'm not crazy about the fenders not being open, but hey, at least they're original, they're Econolines, and they're cool looking. Now, when I bought these, like I said, I bought them years and years ago, and I don't recall what I paid for them. But by looking online now, they've gone up in price pretty good if you buy them off of the like eBays and Etsy's and whatever other websites. Now this one, again, it must have been late 90s, early 2000s when I bought it. I think I bought it at like a Kmart, Target, Walmart. I don't recall, but I remember almost not buying it because it was kind of pricey. And I want to say this was Jesse James when he did the Monster Garage. I don't recall them doing an Econoline, but I want to say that's what the packaging was. I could be way wrong there. It's not going to show right here, but when you press on the wheels, it actually turns into a lowrider. Hold on a second. Alright, you're going to have to excuse my shaky hand, but I'm going to press it down. You'll see how the van turns into a lowrider. Now, I see this van on eBay as well, and some of the prices are extremely high, so I don't know if they didn't make many of them or what, but I've seen people buying them off eBay for way crazy money, in my opinion. Alright, and the side doors on this van opens as well, and the interiors, the seats are, red and black, looks pretty good, but I think it's a nice touch that the doors open. Unfortunately, the piece you see in there is basically the mechanism that helps the van lower and lift back up. Alright, now you see primarily my collection of M2 vans, the Econoline vans and the Falcon van that I picked up here and there. I don't buy them offline because, one, they're kind of expensive, and there's a couple of stores in Athens that carry the M2 line, but only one of them, and is on the other side of town, actually will have the Econolines. So every time I go there, I double check with the Econolines to make sure there's not a new one out there. There's a few more I want to get, and unfortunately I may end up having to get them offline. Now, the Vonage in the back, that was the very first one. I actually ordered it. That one I did get online. I don't know if you remember the commercials, the Vonage commercials. They was running around that old Econoline van, and so I ordered that. It came in a cardboard box like the vintage Matchbox cars, but the bullhorns on the roof, this side, the end is kind of shorter, but that's okay. It still looks good. It's got the speaker on the roof, and it's got, I guess, the Kragers. That's what it's supposed to be. The two flame vans, the purple and the black one, I bought at the same time. Actually, I bought a third one, actually two more, one purple and one black one, and I'll tell you why I did that. The Mr. Gaskets, that was really cool. The green van, the delivery van, I actually bought a second one of those, and I'll show you the reason why. The camper, that one was a tough one to get. I know where one of those are sitting at intact. It's in horrible condition. The guy asked me if he got ready to sell it, if I wanted it, did I want first shot at it, and I told him, well, it's possible, but I don't want another project that's going to take a ton of welding, and that one would definitely be, it is in horrible condition. And then a little white and yellow, or I'm sorry, yellow and white Falcon van. I got the pickup body all flying. It was made for a slot car. That's why I bought the extra 2 vans with the flames, because I'm going to use the chassis. I got that body, and I got another van body that I was going to mount on slot car chassis, but I realized when I ordered the van and the body and their resin, when I ordered the van and the pickup body, it comes with windshields too, that they were molds off the M2 van, and I was wondering if we'll ever see an M2 put out the little pickup, but maybe not. Now, I mentioned I have 2 of the delivery vans. I'm going to show you the reason why I bought 2 of them. Alright, I have this set. It's a hook and toe set, and it was unopened until a friend of mine sent me a picture of someone off of eBay had a camper with an Econoline van that they were trying to sell for 40 bucks, and that was without shipping. So I made a mission to try to find me that Econoline van and camper set. So I go everywhere in town, and I could not find a camper with a hitch and a Econoline van. So scouring the internet, I still couldn't find a new one. And then I realized that the guy that was selling it, he was selling them as used, but he evidently pulled the hitch off of a truck, probably the same Dodge truck that's in this picture, and mounted it to a van. So I did the same thing. I opened that package up. So I've got 2 of them. I've got a light blue one. My grandfather in South Georgia had a light blue Dodge truck, and he was a camping man, so that's why I bought the light blue set. So I pulled the hitch off the blue truck, and I took a drill and to the second van, and I drilled a hole in the bottom of it, and this is what I got. I now have me an Econoline van with a hitch pulling the camper. My van with a hitch looked just like this one with all the advertisement on the side. I just had to get the advertisement off, and what I did is I took alcohol and a Q-tip and worked it and got the lettering off. Alright, there's a shot of both of the vans. You see the one on the left is the one with the hitch. And there it is with the camper hook to it. I think it turned out pretty well. It turned out so well, I want to do it again. I think I'll get me another window van and get me another camper and do the same thing. That way I'll have a family van with a camper for a holiday. Alright gang, that's it for this video. If you like kit bash and die cast, that's an easy kit bash to swap the hitch. Just be careful not to break it, and be careful not to drill your hole in the wrong spot. Drilling that hole wasn't that easy, and unfortunately I had a small enough bit. But that's the Diecast Econoline collection. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great day. Oh, one more thing. That's the resin van shell that I bought to turn into something for either a slot car, which I don't have any slot car tracks set up, or just something for fun to see what I could do. I got that off of eBay. Guy has a ton of different ones. Alright gang, this is it, seriously. Thanks for watching.